What's up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well and are safe out there in these crazy times. It is March 31st, 2020, and being that it is at the end of March, we have the coronavirus that is going on. I wanted to take a look at what the real estate market here in Miami-Dade is experiencing so far by the numbers. So it's been a second since I posted, but obviously extenuating circumstances. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. So I'm sure you guys understand, but back to Miami market sense making. Here we go. So what we're looking at today is, of course, single families, homes, which is like normal homes, separately from townhomes and condos, because you tend to want to separate those two data categories. We're looking at March data from this year, since we're at the end of this month now, 2019, 2018, 2017. So the last 4 years, we're going to try to take a look and see if we can spot any trends. And I actually have created a spreadsheet with some formulas. It's kind of fun. I was nerding out over it. And you'll see there's a column for April, because at the end of April, I'm going to do another installment of this video, and we'll take a look at the numbers from April compared to this month and see what the difference is. So kind of setting things up, the coronavirus has been, of course, going on for the entirety of the year. In the United States, we sort of kind of started taking it very seriously in the month of March. The beginning of the month of March, there was a different level of seriousness than halfway through the month of March. Things got ramped up a bit in terms of the dynamic response that we are seeing leaders take and communities and individuals take as well. So that being said, the numbers for March, I believe, are not representative of what April is going to look like in terms of how dynamic this COVID situation is affecting the real estate market. I think the first half of March, things were sort of relatively normal in the real estate market comparatively to the end of March. So we're going to take a look at these March numbers, compare them to the last 4 years. What we're looking at is active listings, number of active listings, new listings, the number of sales, and the months of inventory. So those 4 categories are what we're looking at, and we're going to look at it for single family homes and condos. So let's jump into it. The 3 price ranges are under 700,000, 700,000 to $1 million, and then $1 million plus, because you also don't want to just look at all the price ranges as one, because it doesn't give you as detailed of an understanding of what is really going on, because different price ranges react differently and have different stimuli affects them differently, and they have different reactions essentially because they're different pools of buyers. Okay, so first off, we're looking at active listings. Okay, so under 700,000, we had 5,800 active listings in the month of March 2017. That went up to 5,900 year over year in 2018. That was a 1.7% increase. And 7,000 in March of 2019, that was a 18.6% increase. And then down to 6,100 in March of 2020, which was a 12.9% decrease. Okay, so active listings went up, and then down. Okay, so that tells us there's, significantly less listings than there was year over year, but still more than there was in 2017, 2018. Price range 700 to $1 million. There was 930 active listings in 2017, 850 in 2018. That was a 8.6% decrease. 990 in 2019. That was a 16.5% increase. And then down to 900, which was a negative 9.1% decrease. Now, $1 million plus was 2,000 in active listings in both 2017 and 2018. These numbers are approximate, so there was, negligible amount of difference there. Was a 0% increase or decrease. 2,200 in 2019, that was a 10% increase, and then back down to 2,000 in this month, March 2020, which was a 9.1% decrease. So nothing really super crazy about that data. What it tells me though is that in all three of those price categories, there was decreases in the amount of active listings. So let's look at new listings, see what that tells us. So under 700, we had 1,807 in 2017. 2018, we had 1,731. That was a decrease of 4.2%. 1,712 in 2019. That was a negative 1.1% decrease. And then this month, there was 1,341, which was a 21.7% decrease. Also in the other two categories, we saw decreases. So 700,000 to $1 million. We'll just kind of breeze through, otherwise this video is going to be crazy long. We went 190, 175, 169, and then drastically to 132, which is a 21.9% decrease. $1 million plus, we went 316, 332, 285, 211, which is a 26% decrease year over year. So in all three price categories there for new listings, year over year, 2019 March to this year, was a statistically significant decrease in the number of active listings. So I would say that is definitely remarkable. That's why I bolded those numbers there. Sellers don't want to put their properties on the market as much, it seems, right now. I think we're going to see even smaller numbers of new listings next month because a lot of sellers, from what I've heard from my clients and future clients, is that they don't really want people coming in their house, especially if it's occupied by them or anyone else at this point in time. If it's vacant, it's a little less of a concern. So that may be more likely that a vacant house is going on the market than an occupied house right now due to fears of the spread of the virus. Number of sales, under 700,000, we went 1,227, 1,167, 1,031 to 707. That was a 31.4% decrease year over year, which is absolutely not good. Not going to sugarcoat it. That's a big decrease. The first year in 4 years that there was less than 1,000 sales in the under $700,000 category, which is usually a very quickly moving category. It's a very lucrative price point because there's a lot of inventory in that range. As we see, there was 6,100 homes that were actively listed at that time, and only 707 of them closed. Not good. 700,000 to $1 million, we went 83, 88, 56, which was pretty big and interesting, to 58. So we actually increased in our number of sales in the 700 to $1 million category. But it's notable that compared to 2018, it was about a 35% decrease or so. So that price range, for whatever reason, there was less sales from 18 to 19, and it was pretty consistent. It only went up by 2 from 19 to 20. Pretty interesting. $1 million plus, we went 70, 86, 89, 79, which was an 11.2% decrease year over year from 19 to 20 rather. I wouldn't say that that's statistically significant, but it's an interesting data point. So months of inventory, we went in the under 700 category. Starting in 2017, we went 4.5 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months. So interesting that the months of inventory has been just increasing steadily over the last 4 years. And from 6 to 8 months of inventory year over year, that's a 33.3% increase. That's troubling because that's a third of the amount. And if that 33.3% increase continues over the next 2 months, we're looking at about 14 months of inventory, which means we'll be going from, right now we're at 8 months of inventory is kind of normal market activity. And we would be then going up to a buyer's market in single family homes at that point in time. which would be the first time that that's happened in a long time, since the last financial crash in 08, 09, 2010. So interesting, not necessarily great. The 700 to a million category, we went 11 months, 9.5 months, 17 months, down to 15 months. So that was actually a 11.8% decrease in the amount of months of inventory, which is great, which means that homes in that category, at least year over year, were moving 11.8% quicker, only taking 15 months, which is still a buyer's market. Anything over 12 months is considered a buyer's market. But good that it was trending downward after being at 17 months of inventory in March of 2019. Typically you want to really be between 6 to 12 months of inventory for normal healthy market activity. A million plus, we went 28, 23, 24, 25. So that was a 4.2% increase months of inventory, but not alarming because it just went up by 1 month. And it actually is still down from that March 2017 number of 28. So not really alarming. The main alarming thing there is the bulk of the inventory that's moving in that under 700 category increased by 33.3%. I really, really hope that that trend does not continue. Let's talk about condos and townhomes. So as you guys can see, same spreadsheet as before. We have the column over there for April. That's going to be filled in on the next video. And the active listings under 700, we went 14,000, 14,000, 15,000, 13,000. So that was a 13.3% decrease from 19 to 20. So nothing crazy about that. It's less than the active listings were at any point in the last 4 years, but it's not an alarming amount. And having less active listings is not necessarily a bad thing when, especially in the condo market, we have a oversupply leading to outrageous months of inventory. So 700 to a million, we went 1616, 1760, 1898 to 1766. That's a 7% decrease. Million plus, we went 2921, 3066, 3357, 3312. That's a 1.3% decrease. Again, nothing really truly alarming there in those active listings. The under 700 category is definitely more significant of a change than the other two price ranges, but not so much that I'm particularly troubled by there being a lack of inventory again, especially because the months of inventory, as we're going to see here in a second, are pretty high still. So new listings under 700, we went 2840, 2444, 2511, 1712. That is a 31.8% decrease in the new listings. 700 to a million, we went 235, 207. I swear I triple checked this. March 2019, there was also 207 new listings, and then 130 in this month, which is a jaw-dropping 37.2% decrease in the number of new listings. So, wow, that's big. Crazy. A million plus went 379, 325, 296, 248. That's a 16.2% decrease. Interesting that it was, almost half of what the other two price ranges were. My speculation on why it wasn't as big of a drop is because a lot of the condos in that price range, those people are no longer living in them right now. They've they own multiple homes and they're not occupying those units as frequently, so they're not as troubled by them being on the market in any form of frequency compared to the other two price ranges, where it's more likely that the people are still occupying those properties. So overall, those three price ranges as far as new listings, not looking good. I hope that these trends don't continue, but it's reasonable to assume that people are, like we said, not wanting to have their houses on the market while people might be infected coming into them. Number of sales under 700,000, we went 1264, 1185, 1174, and then 875. This is more troubling than the new listings because, again, we have an oversupply of condos and townhomes. But when we see that the sales are also slowing down by 25.5%, that's going to be troublesome, because what it does is it leads to those months of inventory going up because you're not moving, the units aren't moving, they're not selling. So even though there's less units coming on the market, there's also less units selling. So it leads to not the healthiest of markets. 700 to a million, we went 72, 52, 60, 47. That was a 21.7% decrease year over year, which is also significant. A million plus, interestingly, was 96, 77, 65, 73, which was a 12.3% increase. So not sure why that is. I would say that probably because those individuals, again, have multiple homes and they maybe are more able to not have to worry about the complications of moving during a pandemic. They don't have to move into those places right now, or potentially they were okay with doing virtual showings from other places in the world. There are a variety of things that I could speculate there, but hard to exactly. Months of inventory under 700,000, we went 11, 12, stayed at 12, and then 15, which was a 25% increase that is mirrored there in the increase in the number of sales. Not good. We don't want to see months of inventory going up. It's not a good sign, especially because that's the price range that's supposed to be moving quicker than the other two. 700 to a million, 22 months of inventory to 34 to 32, and then an astounding 38 months of inventory, which was an 18.8% increase. Not good. Kind of surprising that it was less of an increase than the under 700, but they already was a higher amount of months of inventory, so perhaps it didn't have as much room to grow. So a million plus, we went 30, 40, 52 to 45. So amazingly, months of inventory actually went down for million plus properties by 13.5%, but that was at 52 months of inventory, which is over 4 years of inventory, and now it's just under 4 years. So by no means is that a healthy market. It's a good sign, I suppose, but it's by no means is it a healthy market. It is a tremendous buyer's market, and if you're looking for a condo in that price range, let me know, because I can get you a good discount on one right now. So that's the data, guys. Right now, I'm going to redo this video in April, like I said, to give you guys, towards the end of April, to give you guys an update on this. Those numbers, I think, will be a little more reflective of the scenario that we're in right now, real estate-wise. Mainly, I'm most worried about the decrease in the number of sales in the under $700,000 category, 31%, and then it was 25% for condos and townhomes, 31% for single family. That's not a good sign. And again, probably only max 3 weeks of this month were kind of consumed by coronavirus concerns as to the degree that they are now currently. And also a lot of times, because it takes 30 to 45 days to close a sale, a lot of these places, they went under contract in February. So they were already on the path to closing. So it's a little worrisome that they were already there in that 25 to 30, percent decrease range, considering that, they should have, a lot of them were going to already be closing regardless. So that's very interesting. We'll see if that trend continues. I have a feeling it will. And then I'm a little concerned about the lack of new listings as well in all three of the categories for single family homes, because that's not a good sign. It's just not. It really isn't. All three of those categories had decreases of like 21 to 26%. And then in the condos, it was even greater. Like I said, we have room to go down in new listings for condos because there's so many months of inventory. But you don't want to see that too many months in a row because that just leads to stagnation, because we're not really in jeopardy of that in the condo market. But with single family homes, what happens if you don't have enough supply of inventory and it's a extreme seller's market, then you're going to just not have a very conducive environment towards buyers being able to find what they're looking for, which is not great. You know, it's good if you're a seller, and if you are looking to sell, let me know, and I can definitely help you out with that because I work with sellers and buyers. And being a RE/MAX agent, we have a global network of people who refer clients to us, and I can help you find a buyer for your property for sure. But definitely not what you want to see in a real estate market. The good things are, let's end this on a good note. The good things are interest rates are still low, okay? And the best positive thing ever in any situation is the resiliency and innovation of the American spirit. Let's be honest, America is a country of innovators, and hopefully we find a way to innovate our way out of this problem. I fully have all my faith in the scientists and medical workers and people who are putting themselves on the front lines. Big shout out and thanks to all those people. Seriously, my God, what would we do without you? If you know a nurse or a medical worker or a first responder, you know, anything like that, make sure that you thank them. See if you can do anything to help them out in this time, because they are the soldiers on the front line of this battle. So I really hope you guys are all staying at home. Let's kick this thing's butt and let's bounce back this economy and make this thing look like a bad memory and be more prepared for the next one that may happen. That's it for Miami Market Sense Making for March of 2020. We'll be back at it next month, and hopefully we have some good numbers. We'll see. I'm feeling optimistic, but you know, I tend to base my feelings on things based more on data rather than my what I want to happen. So that's it for now, guys. Sell smart, buy bold. If you have not subscribed yet, if this is your first video, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you get updates. I got more podcasts coming. I'm working on editing stuff now that I have more time. But it's just, it's a crazy time to be alive. It really is. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was valuable to you. If you have any comments that you'd like to drop them below. Let me know what you'd like me to cover next time. Let me know what you think about this. And of course, all my contact information is below. If there's anything I can help you out with real estate wise worldwide, I totally have your back. So I'll catch you guys next time. Sell smart, buy bold. Peace.